Hello everyone. Today let's solve one very important interview question, which is 3 consecutive login days. Now, this question has also been asked in Google several times with some twists and turns. So we will try to focus this question, and if we are clear with this logic, 3 consecutive login days, then if there are slight changes on the question at the interview time, I hope we will be able to manage it. So first of all, we have this login table. I have the script available. If you want the script, you can comment on this video. I'll add a script below. And so first of all, let's check this login table. So I have ran this login table, and I have got this data. So we have 3 column: record date, account ID, and user ID. For the sake of understanding, let's ignore this account ID. We need to know which user ID has login on 3 dates consecutively. Like if today is 31st of December. So who has login on 30th of December, and who will also log in like on 1st of December. Now this is a present tense example. Let us say I want to know who has login on the date of December, on Christmas Day, which is 25th, and who has login on 24th, and who has login on 26th. If any user has login on these 3 days, then we can say it is consecutive. Always remember, consecutive means next day. So if someone has login on 4th, 5th, and 6th, he is a valid user. If someone has logged in on 5th, 6th, and then 7th, he is not he's also a valid user. If someone has logged in on 5th, 6th, and 8th, so he has missed on 7, right? Someone has logged in on 5, then 6, and then 8. Then he has actually missed 1 day, right? Over here, 7. He has missed 7, so he will not be a valid user for us. Now let's first arrange this table, login table, based on user record date, or we can say user ID. Order by user ID. So if we run this, execute this, now we can see that user ID 1 has logged in 1st, 2nd, 8th, 9th, and 7th. These are the different years he has logged in. This is completely different year. So he has not logged in consecutively. If we focus on U2, so we say U2 has logged in on 10th, then 24th, then 1, 6, 10, 11. No. On 1, no, sorry. U3 has only logged in on 6th, so he will also not be valid. U4, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay, we can see that U4 has actually logged in these 3 days consecutively. So he will be a valid user for us. And 1 and 17 doesn't matter. And U5 has only logged in. Okay, we have many, but let's focus till U4. So for now we know that U4 is a valid user, which we should get. Now, if at this point of time we can solve this question using 2 ways. The first way is using cross join, where we will cross join every user ID details of this record date with every other record date of U1. Now that can also help us, but I don't think it is a very efficient way to work, because the execution time and the runtime will be a lot. And you know, the runtime of cross join is actually exponentials, if you see, not a linear O of n time or O of n square time. So we will not look for that cross join thing. We have 2 window functions which can really help us over here. One is lag and one is lead. Now what does this window function does is actually it actually tells us what is the previous value based on the window assigned to us, window assigned to the query. Let us suppose if I have assigned a window, I have created a window. Like in window function, what is the scenario? It doesn't see all the rows at once. It only sees the defined window to that statement. So let us suppose I have created a window where I have only kept user ID. I have used a partition by based on user ID U1. So U1 will have these 4 records, and in this 4 record, this lag will actually see the details of previous column, previous record, and lead will see the record of next one. By this, what I want to actually tell you is, let us suppose I am standing over here in U1, in this one, this column my execution is started. I'll check, is there any column before this? If yes, I'll extract detail for that. If there is any column after that, I don't care. For lag, it's only the previous one. Now I'm standing here, and now if I can see that there is a lead function used, what I'll do is I'll actually check if there is any record next to it. I'll check that. There are many variations also to this, but for this we will try to understand that the very next record I will look into that. So this is a short introduction I have given you, lag and lead. Lag and lead needs a complete video description, and someday I'll post that too. But for this question, let's understand lag, lead like this. Then very previous one, the very next one, lag and lead. Now if I am standing over here, let us suppose over here in row number 4, and I see a previous one and a next one, can I not check that, okay, if I have logged in 9, today is 9th, I have logged in. If I have checked on 8th, then there are 2 consecutive days I have logged in. If the next lead function which I'll be using, if it shows me a record date of 10, then I'll surely say that, okay, I have logged in for 3 consecutive days. let me write a query, and then I think we will have more clarity on this one. So let's first, so we have select star from order by user ID. Let us do one thing, have user ID over here, and then what we can do is, maybe, then let me add a user ID, then let's add that lag thing. So lag window function is over here. If you can see the details over here, expression is what details you want to add, and offset and default are the two more options which we can avail over here, but we will keep this for some other part or some other video. Now we need to check record date. We need to check this data. So if I'm standing on this column, I will check what is the previous record date from my execution point. Now if my cursor is over here, I'll check what is the previous record date, and I can show. So lag record date, and every window function works with over. I need to partition it by the user ID, because I want to check details for record date for specific user ID. I don't want to check record date for user ID 1 and compared with user ID 2 record date details, right? So on this chunk only I need to check. So partition by user ID and order by record date. Why order by record date? Because if we don't order it, then this lag function can not act correctly. It will not understand. It assumes that everything is ordered over here. Then only he will give you a difference, or he will just check the previous one. Lag function will only check the previous one. It doesn't care whether the difference is what. And since I want to check the difference should be 1 only. So if it is arranged in ascending order, then only I can minus it and get it, right? So 9 minus 8 will give me 1. So I can say, okay, these two are consecutive days. However, if before this, if it is not sorted, and let us suppose let not sorted thing. So let us suppose after this row, I am having the 4th row. So if I use a lag, 9 minus 2 will give me 7. And I cannot say that, okay, this is a consecutive day or not. So order by record date is also important, because I want to check the consecutivity, and it can only be done when they are order by dates, and I will try to subtract it in somewhere and check, okay, if the difference is 1, then it is a consecutive thing. Okay, order by record date, and again the lead function which we need to work over here. The lead function will be almost same. We will just copy this one over here, and then we will add it over here somewhat. Yeah, let's change this to lead, and we can add a as ref as next as an alias we can write, so that we are aware as next from login by user ID. Okay, and one more thing, we have not added the record date also, record date. Let's see now. If I do this, if I execute this one, so what I am getting is for user ID 1, if the record date is 9, the previous one is 8, and the next one is 1st of January. So, and this is 9th of December. So this is not consecutive. We were having one record, right, which was actually eligible. It was U4. If we check in U4, where is that? Okay, if you check over here, this column, let's focus on this column. U4, the current cursor is in this record date, because we're taking record date as it is. So the current cursor is in here, record date. I am checking lag, which is 1 day before. What is the previous record for this one? It is 10, and these two we can say that these are consecutive. And the same lead function will check the next row details on the table, and it is actually 12. Since it is order by, we will get exactly consecutive days if we have put order by record date. That is why I have applied it over here. Okay, so now I can say that this is a consecutive record. I don't know about the rest. I will not check. But for this one I can see. But for U1, I am sure I'm not getting anywhere any consecutive. If I say these two are consecutive, so then the lag one is not consecutive. The previous date is a bit far. Okay, now we have a clarity on this. What we can do is we can create a CTEO for this with date diff as this one. Now we have this details. Now what we can do is select user ID. We need to tell the user ID who is the user ID who has done this. Now I would like to introduce one more thing to you, which is date difference. Now date difference, before writing this query, let me show you what is date difference. So if I write date difference is a pre-developed function in SQL Server. Now if you see what is the input value it takes, it first takes you the interval. So the interval can be any interval, day, month, year, hour, minute. We are only considering day because we need to figure out 3 consecutive days. Now we need to let them know the second date, the first date and the second date. So the first date I'll write it as let us suppose I'll write pref, comma, record date. So these are the 2 dates I have given it to date diff. What it will actually do is it will perform this function record date minus pref, and it will give me a value based on dates. So if there for this column, let us suppose for this column I'm applying this date diff, what will happen is it will check 1st and then 9th, and that month is actually different over here. So we will get at least 22 to 23 day difference, because it's a month of December, right? In December there are 31 days. So 9, if you 31 minus 9 will give me 20, 31 minus 9 will give me 22, and then this one. So maybe 22 we will get the difference over here, 22. And there's one more day, right? Plus one, 23, I think. Oh, 22, 23. Let's not go to the calculation. We are not here considering the maths which we need to focus here. So date difference is, this function provides this detail. I hope we have a clarity on this one. So what I'll do right now is I'll just use smartly. I'll add the select user ID, comma, and then I'll quickly go to this date diff thing. Date diff. The interval they are telling. Interval we know that it should be day. Then it should be prev, comma, record date. Record date is actually going wrong here. Record date, and let's first write from date diff is a CT which we have created. Let me check if we write this, what we get. We should get a difference over here. Sorry, we have to run this complete CT. How will he know that? The order by clause is valid in views. Okay. Okay. CT we don't use order by. Yeah, sorry, it was my bad. I should have kept this consideration over here. So yeah, we are getting this 23. See, 23 was the assumption which we were having, that okay, we will get a difference of 23. Somewhere it is 1 also. Now we know that this is actually checking the previous day difference. If I apply the same formula, I'm not adding alias for now. If I add the same formula over here, and if I write, if I write next over here, next record date, what I believe I'll get a difference of okay, sorry, again not added the detail. Again, see, I'm getting a detail difference over here. So there must be one column which should be having, okay, we should not write it over here, because the order is mismatched. We are getting minus over here. Why? Because we know, right? Because this date diff, what it does is actually it subtracts the second value with the first value. What it does is it is actually performing over here is record date minus prev, and the same thing it will over here. What it is actually doing is next minus record date. So over here it is performing next minus record date. So now let's check. So if anywhere in this column I am getting a record where the difference between last login and next login is 1, previous login and next login is 1, that is a consecutive day record. So if you see for this U4 details, it is actually giving me this value. So if I give it an alias, prev difference, prev login diff, and next login diff. So it will actually give you a detail that okay, this a person has when it has previously logged in and when it has login next from this one. Okay. Then again I add over here. Very mistake if you're doing it. I hope, yeah. Previous. So if you come to here, you can see that U4 has previously logged in 1 day before, and the next login which he has done is 1 day before on this record date. If I add a record date, you will also get a. Now our only task is to figure out who is the user. We need to provide them the user ID, right? We don't care much. It is just we need to show them. When you are writing this query in interview, you need to explain the interview, the approach which you need to follow. That is why I have showing all of this. So U4, if on this date, if I check the previous login, it is 1 day gap. If I check the next day login, it is 1 day gap. So now I am sure that U4 is the correct candidate for me. Is there anyone else I can see? No, I cannot see anyone else here. What I'll do is here, except of adding all of this, what I'll do is I'll quickly, 1 minute. I just need a user ID right here. So I'll use a user ID. Then I'll go with from where I'll add this condition where date difference not this one equal to 1 and delete equal to 1. If we have done this, let's run this now. I believe that we should get U4 only. U4, bingo. We have solved this question, and I hope you had a clear understanding on lag, lead, and date diff functions. This is one of the most important questions, and it has been asked in Google with slight variation. I am giving you a task. If you are till here, if you watch this video till here, what update would we have to do if the question tweaks to 3 plus consecutive login days. Let us suppose here I'm not considering 3, it should be 3 only. If it is more than 3 also, we need to add that user. 3, 4, 5. If he has done consecutively 4 days, we are very much sure. 5 days, we are very much sure. So will there be any changes, or what should be the correct approach for that? If you have, I would like to see your answers, see you in the comment. Please follow my channel SQL with Asif if you find this video useful. Thanks, and meet you in the next video.